Very good evening to you all, and good evening to those who have been able to join us. My name is Moses Echodu, and I'm joined by Hudson Mugweri. And of course, we are here for Sports Kabozi. There's lots of sports to talk about. There's lots of stories that have been happening. But I want to start with you, Hudson. Hudson, what has really, I would say, stood out for you in terms of sports in the last week? But before you do that, introduce yourself to the guests and tell people who you are, what you do, and things like that.
All right, I'm Hudson Mugweri. I'm a sports analyst and a peer practitioner as well. What has been the highlight of you beating Power to reach the semifinals of NBL, that is National Basketball League, the men's side. It was a big statement because the second game they were beaten badly, but they came back in the third game and they won it. It was a big statement.
And of course, I remember before UCU making it to the playoffs, the biggest talk was about how UCU could be facing the axe in terms of relegation, and ultimately, Coach Nick Natere is probably their biggest MVP, managing to come in there and rescuing the ship. Some billionaires whose names we shall not mention. Also coming in there and bringing all buses of fans. But when you look at all the other things, really, for me as well, probably what I can say did stand out for me has got to be the fact that one, City Oilers getting that sweep, in which was really expected, but the Lady Jaguars, the TJ Lady Jaguars, quite a performance, especially given that this was their first, I would say, appearance in the playoffs, first playoffs. They win the first game in the playoffs. They're in the first season. They get into the semifinals. What did you make of them, and especially without services of one of their key players, that is Sarah Geno?
I would say the team is full of experienced players. Some of them have been in the playoffs. Some of them have got a championship as well. So they're not new to these things of playoffs. What they did was to step up because they played poorly in game 2. They were leading at one time. They were leading by 25 points. Then guess what? Magic Thomas comes and beats them in game 2. Everyone was like, "This guy is sleeping around." One of their players actually missed out on the game. That's Zaina. She missed out on that game. So she comes back in game 3, from where she was. She puts up a big fight. I think she had 22 points. She was in double figures on points and rebounds. Then she had 9 assists as well. So she was like, you know what, guys? I've been here. Rhoda also stepped up. Everyone was like, you know what, guys? Let's go. Let's play basketball now. Time to make sure we meet KU Rangers and people enjoy the playoffs, because Magic Summers versus KU Rangers, it was going to be kind of not balanced. But Jaguars versus KU Rangers, it's going to be a good series.
Yeah. So before we get talking basketball, because I know that's what we're going to really get into in the later hours of the show, not later hours, in the later stages of the show. This show will probably be just not more than an hour, so don't expect us to be here for 2 hours, 3 hours. No, but and also to our viewers, we have a couple of people lined up to be part of the show. People like Charles Gava will come and discuss some aspects of arbitration together with Bakshi, and probably that will be next week. We will host them on this show to talk about sports arbitration and how Uganda could benefit from it. And of course, with everything that happened. But Hudson, Morocco gets awarded the 2025 AFCON. They are going to be the host for the 2025 AFCON. They have already 6 stadia ready for the tournament. They are also constructing more training facilities that are going to be used by different individual teams. were you shocked by the selection of Morocco ahead of Nigeria and Algeria?
I wasn't shocked because remember, Morocco has been one of the good countries which has been representing Africa. We saw them reaching semi-finals of the recently concluded World Cup, and what led them to that? Because of the way from the background, they've got good facilities. They're well set. They do know what we're well set. We know what we want, and they've got good players. Because look at now, Hakimi is becoming a problem. Yes. So Ziyech is in Galatasaray playing his football in Galatasaray, but the players have got Amrabat now is in Manchester United. I would say Morocco has got the facilities. That is a big plus to them. They've got from even football they play from grassroots to where they are right now. Everything they're set to go. North African countries, I don't doubt them when they say we are hosting something, we are bidding to host something. I don't doubt them because they already have the facilities and they add more facilities to what they have. So I wasn't shocked when Morocco won that bid.
Yeah, personally, I did expect that probably Algeria would also, put a very contentious kind of bid. That they also have equally almost the same number of facilities, not same number of facilities, but they have good facilities in place for them as well. Nigeria, I wasn't quite so sure that they would get, but surprisingly, Nigeria did not get the votes. Morocco got 25 votes, and I think that is almost half of the continent. So really, I think it was so I don't know, Hudson, are you planning on going to Marrakesh, Casablanca to go and watch some AFCON, or you're going to wait for Hudson, his internet is a little bit up and down. Hudson, are you there?
But for East Africa, I'm sorry for the Pamoja. I'm sorry to move around from Tanzania.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for that. By 2027, I'll be sorry to move around.
Right.
And now I'm sure most of the airlines around East Africa will put their fares down so that move around when games are going on.
Right. And of course, Hudson, Uganda, among the lucky countries finally to get to host AFCON and Hudson has gone off. Probably the internet has been a challenge, but Uganda did get the Pamoja bid, and what is going to happen is that Uganda will be among those countries, together with Kenya and Tanzania, that will be hosting the Pamoja, that will be hosting AFCON. But the interesting bit about all of this has got to be the fact that instead of celebrating the success of winning this, of winning the AFCON, many Ugandans went and put out extremely interesting tweets.
Interesting memories.
I'm trying to see how I can, get to share some of those moments here. But Hudson, I've seen a number of people really. For me, the memes were more or less a way of Uganda just showing the current state of affairs, and not really trying to ridicule the achievement that Uganda has gotten. And if you look at the other countries that won the prize as well, alongside that is Uganda and Kenya, is Tanzania. I think Tanzania is the only country that did not come out to put out memes of sorts and banter. But when you look at the Kenya X community, when you look at the Uganda X community, they were more or less speaking the same language. They were all making fun of the whole scenario. But to put context for those who are watching, Uganda does, in their bid, Nambole was selected to be one of the stadiums that will host games. The Akiboa Stadium is going to be renovated, and then there's going to be a stadium that will be constructed in Hoima. Now, why Hoima is because also there is anticipation that by that time, the international airport in Hoima will be completed. Now, the interesting bit here, Hudson, is that the 5-star hotels that were selected, you have Serena Hotel, Sheraton. Those were the hotels that were selected. So the big question is, will the players of some of those teams be sleeping here in Kampala and then having to go to have a long drive to Hoima or charter a plane from Kampala to Hoima? That's got to be the question that now we have to ask ourselves, because also when you look at the hospital that was put in regards to managing, because when you put in a bid, there's got to be hospitals, and the hospital that was put across is Mulago, the National Referral Hospital.
Yeah. Mulago.
Yeah.
Now, I would say we are going to see a lot of we are going to see a lot of redevelopment in the country. Even Hoima now, right now, of course, they've got an airport because of the refinery, but you're going to see that don't be surprised when you have 1 or 2 hotels being set up there, from 3-star to 4-star, 5-star. Yeah, I would say the road construction has to improve highly because our road network is so bad in Kampala mainly. For upcountry, the roads are good. We can't complain about that. Of course, drainage system is a big issue as well. When it rains, what happens in Kampala? The drainage system must be worked on. But I was just so happy for the country because at last you're going to see sports facilities being set up so fast as compared to the things of like they spend over 7 years just setting up one facility. You're going to see facilities being set up so fast. Within 2-3 years, we shall have stadiums being set up on Jolekoke. This is now to CAF FIFA standard or CAF standard. It is a big, big achievement for us as a country.
Well, for me, the question also will be, and I agree that there's got to be need for people to that is the government to put up good road facilities, but also I think really, really key to it has got to be the need to make sure that we will have medical, transport that is really, really up to speed. Ambulances have got to be to the standard. I think we'll also need air ambulances available for circumstances. For instance, you remember the instance that happened during the Euros when Ericsson suffered from a cardiac arrest. So all those needs, exactly, you need airlifting services that are readily available. But lots of banter was thrown out around the place, lots of fun, but we'll quickly leave that matter at that and get to talk about volleyball. Volleyball, there's got to be the league resumes this weekend, and the Nemo Stars will be taking on KCCA men. What a fixture that is going to be, Hudson. Quite a fixture, and these two teams really, yeah.
These are top teams in the country. Of course, you've got Nemo Stars, you've got KCCA, you've got UCU. These are teams who look at the Belekoke. These are really Ndeja as well. These teams really compete. These are teams which put up a good fight when watching volleyball. You don't be bored. But they can now enjoying volleyball because actually I was giving credit to KCCA as general as an organization. Most of their teams are so competitive. Living volleyball, even when you go to netball, the team is competitive. It really competes. Basketball, they really compete, though they need to step up to do some signings. But I would say credit to KCCA because of the way they've tried to make sure that the organization has got teams which will compete.
Yeah.
So we're going to have the serious competition when it comes to volleyball. Because recently we had the Mbara Open. It was so interesting. It was so interesting. We saw, actually, I think the finals of the men was played on Monday.
Yeah.
I think they pushed it to Monday. Yeah.
They were supposed to play on Monday. It happened. The final actually did happen on Wednesday, I think, because of that trip that was taken to Mbarara, and quite some action that happened there. Then, of course, in the women's section, we will have that is KCCA women taking on Sport S, one of those newcomers who really became a thorn in the
One of
yeah. Do you expect KCCA ladies to create a bit of a shakeup or put up a result against that is um, Sporters?
the team has been here for years, but Sporters, the way they recruited their players, most of the players are from KCCA. They're from they're from also from some different teams. There's a they combine a team whereby Sporters is a money bag.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
players are like players think of like, man, when you give my man on time,
Yeah,
let me deliver your
I'm
job.
good.
Let me deliver. Let me
Yeah,
deliver. Yeah, I'm good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
But we shall see. We shall have sure.
yeah, definitely. And of course, if you wish to watch these games, you can be able to find the games being played at Old Kampala Sports Arena. Quite a crowd, by the way. And entrance fee is 5,000 Uganda shillings. So it's quite a crowd. It's quite an atmosphere. Um, Volleyball has got quite a following if you are not very, very careful as well. Well, we'll leave volleyball at that, Hudson, and quickly we'll talk about netball. The Shikrins were named the tourism ambassadors, international ambassadors, for their showings at the World Cup. I remember that they finished as the best team on the continent. Quite a result for the ladies, and quite a recognition.
That actually they deserve more than that.
Mm-hmm.
They're the best team right now in Africa, though they're ranked number 7, but they're the
Yeah,
best team in the World Cup in Africa. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
So they deserve more than that. But I'm just happy that UTB had to wake up there. Like, you know what? Let's give them that role, because you've got Cheptegei, you've got Shikrens. Of course, they'll give it back to the sport, which is something so good.
yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Well, quickly,
Now and now,
Anson.
now with the players, and now with the players going professional, because you've got 4 players who are now professional, and they're all in UK and they're all playing the same league. Yeah, which
Yeah,
is a plus. You've
I,
got Mohammed, you've got
yeah.
Mary Nova, you've got Peace Proskovia, you've got Stella Oyela, and more will still go. More will still go. More will still go.
Yeah, of course. I think today reports coming out that about 4 of them have also gone to that is Malaysia, where they will be camping. I think there's a bit of a recruitment that could be coming in for them. So there's definitely lots and lots of opportunities still coming for Uganda netball players. Quite incredible things coming to the netball team. But Adson, before we leave netball, more to say, Fred Mugera finally getting a 2-year extension with the federation, and hopefully this time round he's going to be paid.
You know, I'm laughing. Eh?
Yeah.
They asked him, "Where's the contract?" It's like, when the process of shifting, I don't know why the contract went. I shifted, left this house, so it got those from the other house. I'm like, Mugera, please, let's be serious. But I'm just happy for him. At last, he's going to be paid, because he said they're going to clear his areas and he's going to be paid. He's going in a 2-year contract.
Yeah.
Thanks to Avidia for the president for the good work she has done. Make sure the coach is rewarded a 2-year renewal contract. It's a good one, and we expect him to deliver more and more, because he's the only person. He's actually, I think, he's one of the local coaches we have in Uganda, and be like, this guy really delivers and he does a good job, because since he has been in that team, we've been excelling. We've been there. African Cup, when we got to the World Cup, or we were supposed even to now remember the tournament to Commonwealth. You know.
Yeah.
So we are pushing as a nation, and credit to him. He knows how to handle the girls so well.
Well, very, very good results for Mugera, and good news for him. And also, if you are a big fan of netball, there's going to be a 3-day Independence Cup, which will be more of a precursor to the tournament that will be happening, the league, the official opening of the Super League. So you may want to go out there and have some fun as well and watch that 3-day tournament that will be put across. And I think this tournament will be down at Kamocha.
Yeah, there's a facility in Kamocha, which is host the netball people. And
Yeah.
it has also a basketball court because we are using it, but it has also a basketball court, netball, volleyball. Those games can happen from there. Even boxing, which sometimes happens from there. And I would
Yeah.
say to the viewers out there, they shouldn't forget that the league is resuming very soon, and the champion is Prisons. NIC was number 2, Nick was number 2. Actually, Prisons took over because Nick were the champions previously. Then Prisons won it. The number 3 was KC. Those are teams which are competing now. Of course, you bring in UC as well competing. They're just also competing. Credit to those universities. They're very pushed so hard. They've really been in sports. They've been in sports. You made them in athletics, made them in football, made them everywhere. So it's a good one. It's a good one. So
Right.
the league is soon resuming, and we expect some good competition.
Right. Quickly, that is what is happening in netball. But before we get to basketball, where everyone is waiting for us to talk about the basketball playoffs in Uganda, ultimately, we also need to talk about lots and lots of stories that are coming from the world of basketball. Hudson, what the rugby sevens national team for women will be heading to Tunisia in a few days, and they will be playing in the Women's Africa Sevens. Now, a reminder that the winner of the Africa Sevens could potentially go to the Olympics, not potentially. Yeah, they qualify for the Olympics, and Uganda is in a very interesting. Sorry.
They qualify for. I was saying qualify for the Olympics. The winner qualifies for Olympics.
Yes.
Then number 2 and 3 also, they go into qualifiers of Olympics as well.
Yes,
like how the rugby men sevens team is now going to the qualifiers. Yeah, because they're number 3.
Yeah. So, and in Group A, we are in a very interesting group because in our group we have South Africa, we have Tunisia, and we have Zimbabwe. Now, we talk about South Africa, Zimbabwe. You expect some bit of action from those two countries, especially South Africa. You would think they have been the better country in terms of women's rugby on the continent, and it's not surprising really. But in Group B, you have Madagascar, you have Kenya, Zambia, and Ghana. So in Group B, you're probably expecting Kenya and Zambia to be the ones to watch out for.
Yeah. Because Kenya rugby has developed, actually. It has been there and has developed. In East Africa, it's a team I fear so much when it comes to ladies. I fear them so much when it comes to the ladies because when they came here, they beat us badly. But that was 15, not sevens. But still, they've got a good team. They've got a good team which can compete. Zambia has been dominant on the African continent. They've been there. They've been up there. They've been competing. Dominant. In our group, of course, we have tough opponent. South Africa is one of the hardest teams we're going to compete with, but we can, these are sevens. Something can happen in first sevens. When I recall when Uganda was playing Zimbabwe in their group stages game, they beat us badly, and I was like, "What's happening with the guys?" But now, guess what? When it comes to the third, the playoff of the third spot, the boys were like, they can't beat us. This is sevens. We're African champions. At least let's take the bronze and we qualify for the qualifiers of Olympics.
Yeah,
but the ladies have been training so hard. The ladies have been working out so hard. Of course, most of the girls have been working out so hard. So they're ready to compete. The Black Powers has been there. Then other teams has also been competing. So it's going to be some interesting rugby.
Right. Well, quickly, Hudson. If we will leave rugby at that for now, of course, the men have just come back, and just from our colleague Ernest Akore Birunji, he spoke about how it's expensive, really, for the for sportsmen to transverse the continent to really play their skills. But away from that, Hudson, we now get to talk about the one sport that everyone has been waiting for us to talk about, and that has got to be a basketball. Hudson, in terms of basketball, the Uganda League, the Uganda National Basketball League, is into the semi-finals. As I said earlier on, the TJ Lady Jaguars get into the finals for the very first time in their history, but they have done it in such interesting style because they are coming into this. One, they are. This is their first season in the league. This is their first time making the playoffs, and already they are into the playoffs. What a what a season they're having.
Of course, they've got good. First of all, the management of JT Jaguars is so good. When you talk with Jet himself, he's a guy who is passionate, ambitious, and he tells you, first of all, discipline is key in my team. If you're undisciplined, you can't work with teamwork as well. Yeah, and really teamwork as well. You really see that the team, first of all, they're on their management. Don't forget Natwerez as part of their management as well.
Oh,
on top of that, you've got Sudi Ulanga, who is a good coach.
Yeah,
of course, he has been we saw him as a player before, real, a competitive, a good player. Tanzanian Zora is one of their, of course, is one of their best players. Of course, leaving Dura aside, because Dura is extra, but he's one of their best players. Of course, one of the exports of Tanzania. But I would say he has been in Uganda for long. He knows the league now. He has been with these girls for some good time, so he knows how the league runs. So I would say JT Jaguars has got those experienced players. When you look at their squad, most of the players either have a championship or they've been in the finals before. Yeah, look at Sarah Geno, who might come back actually in the semifinals. One of their best players, Sarah Geno, that captain Rhoda. She was the new CEO, of course. I think she won one championship or two. Then you've got, of course, Zayn as well is there. So Maimona, who just won a championship recently. She's also in JT Jaguars. So the team is so deep. The team is so deep and well balanced. I would say they're ready for the semifinals. We are going to see a good fight against KIU Rangers. It's going to be some good fight with them.
Nice. Remember, do you expect KIU to be able to pick up a result, or you expect that the Lady Jaguars could, bring up the shocker in all of this? Because
for this series, I don't know. I don't want to predict who's going to make it to the finals because it's going to be so interesting. But I'll give it to Lady Jaguars. My prediction says the Jaguars might. If Sarah Geno comes back, they're into the finals.
Well, of course, Sarah Geno is still nursing that injury, but they have Amoding in there. They have Zaina, who have really shown that they are. Yeah.
True. I was forgetting Amoding. One of the best shooters right now. One of the best shooters right now in the league right now. Actually, he's one of the best shooters right now, currently in the league. One of the best shooters in the league. She can drive in, can come with a ball, she can shoot you.
Yeah.
People are even saying, how come? But saying, man, let's hope she's going to play like this until Gazelles again come back and she's some on the team because she's really balling. She's really balling like she's in her early 20s.
I played against Amoding in a pick and roll down in Kigali during the Gazelles exploits in the Afrobasket, and my goodness, can she shoot up from outside the perimeter? And I think even when you look at the game that they played against, that is the Stormers, you could see that she was the lady who was picking up the points for them. Do you expect any changes in going into the semifinal against KIU? Anson, can you get? Yes, I was asking. Going into the semifinal against KIU, who do you pick to win this series?
Semifinals of what?
Jaguars and KIU Rangers.
Of course, I picked Jaguars. If Sarah Geno comes back, they're winning this series. But if she's out, it's going to be hard for them. we might see a decider. We might see a game 5 in this series.
Yeah. Well, we'll leave that as a semi-final at that, and then we go to the next, the defending champions of the women's National Basketball League, and that is the UCU Lady Cannons. Quite, quite a performance for them. They get into the semi-finals, and I don't know, who do you think that they have all it takes to get into that final?
If they mark out Hope Akelo, if they mark out, quote me right, if they mark out Hope Akelo, then the
Yeah,
finals of the basketball of the national basketball. If they
of
mark
course
out
this
Hope
is a
Akelo, then the finals of the national.
yes.
She's the only difference in the JKO team. If they mark out Hope Akelo, the rest we are good to go.
Yeah, of course. The interesting bit is, for those who don't know, this is a repeat of last season's final, and this time around, UCU does not have the services of Rose, who is currently down in Rwanda. You know, going for another title after she finished her exploits in Morocco. And this is interesting because next year there's going to be the women's championship as well in terms of the clubs. So you and Jekyll Dolphins will be representing Uganda. How that decision was made is still a puzzle for many of us, because you would have expected that last season's champions, UCU Lady Cannons, would have been the rightful representatives of the country.
It's because of financial issues with the university side.
Yeah,
You know, yeah, because of financial issues with
yeah,
the university side. It wasn't for that, but because of financial issues, so they're like, let the other team go. Because
yeah,
when you look at freedom is just determined to go everywhere when it comes to the girls, but to the men is like, let me serve the team because I'm not getting back what I'm supposed to get back. But for the girls, they're doing an incredible job, and even see the signings it makes. Signings it makes
yeah.
sometimes be like, okay, yes, added this one, and of course they're going for the African Championship, but of course expect to for them to make more additions in the team. Don't be surprised when they pick Preston Amugosa from UCU to join them to play for them.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
in
Tracy
the, in the
Namugosa, what a player!
what a player!
What a
That's why I was
player!
telling guys that's why I was saying she's the most improved player right now in the league. I made it clear. Everyone was like, "What?" I'm like, actually, I was seated with one of my colleagues, Ian Mutemba. I told him, "Watch that girl."
Yeah,
First half 20 points. He was like, "But how do you know these girls?" I'm like, "Man, I saw that kid from way back
yeah, and it's interesting
to
because
where she is right now.
mm, she literally scored half of the
To
points
where
for
she is right now.
UCU.
Yeah, she had 29 points in the game, but first half she had 20 points. First half, 20 points.
Yeah,
She had, I think, over in the dual game. I think she had over 5 steals. Yeah, and she makes the one
exactly.
too easily. Her threes were dropping. You know, they beat KCCA, and guess what? They came late. They came
I
3
recall.
minutes late. Yeah, but they started from the word go, like from the word go, from the first quarter to the last quarter, beating up KCCA. And my question was, what's wrong with KCCA? What's wrong with Leopards? What's up with them? Because in the regular season, they were playing some good basketball, they were competing. And guess what?
Mhm.
KCCA, half of the team is from UCU. They
Yeah,
played from UCU. Yeah. Court, Angela Melimo, Ruth. Most of the players are from there. You're like, okay, you're going to see some good competition, but they never gave us the competition they expected them to give us. But for this
yeah,
JKL versus UCU, we are going to serious competition. Brenda
yeah.
Ekon versus Preston.
Yeah, and you see, you speak of Tracy Namgosa, she has probably one of those shooting forms that I enjoyed watching. That drop basket, it was absolutely beautiful to
Yeah.
watch. But the question that I now ask is, who determines the play for JKL Lady Dolphins? Because in terms of point guards, you have that is Flash for JKL Dolphins, but also you have Evelyn Nachiyunji. Who does the coach go for in terms if they are to beat UCU Cannons?
Of course, you have got for the experience Flavia coach. They go for the experienced one. Everything just comes in yourself to chase it. But any coach, Manda Junior has to go for what? For flash, because she's experienced. She has been on that level before, and she knows what to do. But to me, if I'm to beat UCU, if I'm a JKO person to beat UCU, my ball has to be going to Ok Akelo. Of less she can assist.
Yeah.
Actually, after Afro basketball, the basketball she's playing right now, it's so different from the basketball she was playing.
It's much improved.
That's much improved than what's happening.
And that's of course what really such stages do for most of these players, that it gives them an opportunity to play amongst different players who have played on different continents at different levels, and so you get to pick up one or two skills from all these other players. But now, we've spoken about Tracy Namgosa for UCU Cannons. How important will Aber be in this UCU team?
On the rebounds, because we saw what she did in the series against KCCA, against experienced Martha Soigi. She picked up rebounds off her proper, and she was delivering. She was picking up rebounds. She was blocking. She was making baskets as well. There's a way Coach Nick gives that thing of like, you can play for 8 minutes, you have a rest of 2 minutes, 1 minute, then you go back again, you deliver. And I'm happy with that because she has put up a good fight in this season. She has put up a good fight. She has delivered so well. Yeah, but not forgetting, leaving her aside, there's Shakila Namvia, who is a good point, who is their point guard. She'll come with she can protect the ball so well. She can drive in and assist so well. Leaving Shakila Namvia, there's Azida Nabayunga, who is another problem.
Yeah,
she's a 3, but she can come with she can act as a point guard as well. Can come with the ball. Of course, not forgetting the person who beat Jekyll in Game 7, Millicent Otieno. She beat them literally in Game 7. People are marking out Rose Ekon, but Millicent Otieno was
the one driving,
shooting them, and so the team is still balanced. It's going to be some good competition by the end of the series. That's why I tell people, let's forget Roger basketball and we focus. When it comes to playoffs, teams are somewhat different.
They change. They
bring out that egg game. They're like, you know what? Let's go.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
did that for the ladies semifinals? It's like both semifinals are like finals to me, because all teams are ready to go. That's why I said the ladies division is more competitive compared to the men's division.
Yeah. Well, when you look at so in this fixture, who do you pit to make it to the final?
I'm a diehard of UCU. I'm a diehard of UCU. Every day I'm a diehard.
That's why I'm posing the question. That's why I'm posing the question.
I don't lie. I don't want to lie, but I'll just be like, let's just enjoy the series for this one.
Well, I think for me the experience of Jekyll Lady Dolphins could prove very, very pivotal, and I think it could be the difference. And then of course also when you look at Coach Mande Jiruni and Coach Nick Teresa, they are more or less the same mind. They always make those quick changes in case the games are not going the way they are hoping them to be. So you expect a very, very tense game.
And for Jekyll, the addition of Mande Jiruni on their coaching team is a plus. Because you've got to experience Eddie Malinga, and you've got Mande Jiruni as well. That is a big. That's a big addition. Two experienced coaches. They are champions, of course, when it comes to the league itself. Yes, Teresa has got Emmanuel Chigui as his assistant, but the other two heads, the brains are far better than the other ones. We expect a good fight in that series.
All right. Well, quickly, we're going to move to the men's category because we are quickly running out of time. But Hudson, your UCU Cannons takes on the KIU Titans. KIU Titans riding on the backs of phenomenal performances by Joel Banza, and of course Balungu, who is no stranger to Ugandan basketball and who is no stranger to playing against UCU. They have come up, they have created such a formidable kind of partnership alongside Camelo, who also wants to get into the final and is raring to go for that to go for the title finally after quite some time. Do you think, with the likes of Collins Kasoja also coming in there and putting up performances for the KIU Titans, do you think that the UCU Cannons, who were on the verge of elimination, who were on the verge of relegation, could spring up a surprise, or KIU Titans are going to prove too strong?
If a team is fully fit, because yesterday you saw how he landed badly after that push.
Yeah.
If a team is fully fit, if Sifoma is also 100%, is not fully but 70% fit, if Ibanda Blisk plays the basketball he played yesterday in the first half.
Yeah.
I can't forget Joe Kaila as well.
Mm-hmm.
I can't forget Jerry Kayanga as well, who's one of their shooters.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to say, because I saw Power, I'm like, Power can easily be beaten by KIU. First of all, Power doesn't have a real natural point guard. They struggled yesterday. You saw when they played full court press from the word go, how they made turnovers. They struggled so much yesterday.
Yeah.
But with this, they've got ball handlers who can come with the ball. Of course, Joel has got Joel, the KIU guy, is one of the best point guards right now in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Leaving Tony Diliba side, leaving Chris Omanya side, one of the best point guards we have in the league. So we are going to see some good competition with Camelo picking up rebounds and love scoring as well. As long as he doesn't give Balungu space to shoot the threes, because when you give him space, we just know that shot is going to drop. Yeah, but
right.
You're going to enjoy basketball in that series.
Mm-hmm. Well, when you look at for me, the biggest problem I have with the UCU was the lackluster kind of performances when it comes to rebounds. The biggest challenge that I also saw was that everyone seems to sometimes quickly forget about their roles. And that is dangerous, especially if you're coming up against a KIU side who seem to take advantage of every single opportunity that is thrown at them. Do you now think that this is probably the time that UCU gets into the dugout, and Coach Nick now asks the players what they really want to achieve in this semi-final?
I would say that's why I said if a team is fully fit, actually is that because the Jerry you saw in the beginning of the season, not the Jerry now we are seeing right now. It's a little bit traumatized, but I know with time he's going to step up because he's one of the best shooters we have. Yeah, not forgetting there's this guy, another point guard of theirs. What's his name? The point guard, I'm forgetting his name. Another point guard of theirs.
You're talking about shot number 8.
Yeah, it's also a shooter as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will remember the name in the next podcast.
Yeah. Because he's also actually delivers so well. Yeah. Because I can't forget Siagi as well, who will give the defense you need. And when you put him on the free throw line, you really miss him on that free throw line. Yeah. So
it's interesting that it's interesting you've spoken about Abraham Isiagi, arguably one of the veterans of the game in Uganda. But how much will his experience prove pivotal in this fixture?
I'm seeing him marking Balungu.
Well,
he's a guy who says this is their squad.
Yeah,
he's a guy who says this is their squad. Let me take him out. He gives the defense 100%. The guy who says this is their squad. Let me take him out. He doesn't fear. Even if it's your Camelo, he will take you out. Yeah. So I'm seeing him marking Balungu in that game. Like
It's
the
got
answer is let me mark out Balungu. The rest of the guys do other thing, but he's the guy.
it's going to definitely be a lot of work for Isiage because Balungu is quite a swift mover on
Yeah.
that court, and with of course
Mm.
Banza in there. It's quite a ridiculously fast player. So we'll leave that semi-final for now. Remember that the first game is on tomorrow at Lugogo. So you may want to make your way to Lugogo tomorrow as well. 6 p.m. gets open.
Not YMCA.
And according to the whatever that was released, it's going to be at Lugogo. So probably we'll need to, let me just double check so that we do not, the fans do not go looking elsewhere. But what I know is that the first game is going to be at Lugogo, unless there's been a change. But
Actually, it's YMCA.
yeah, it is
The
YMCA.
fixture says YMCA.
It is
Yeah.
YMCA. So Grods will be leading to
Yeah.
YMCA. Of course, that is tomorrow at 6 p.m. First game. That will the first game is at actually 7 p.m. That is between JK Lady Dolphins and the UCU Lady Cannons. So you may want to catch that game. That is going to be quite a thriller. And then at 9 p.m., UCU Cannons will be taking on KI Titans. The only question that is now remaining is: did President Nasser uh, contact some rain gods? Because should it rain, that means one of the fixtures may not see the end of day, or we may not get to watch both games.
If it rains during that time, of course, it may, lately it rains during that time.
Mm-hmm.
So it rains during that time. We watch the games from 7 moving forward.
Yeah. Well, that is it for that is a KU Titans and that is a UCU Cannons, which promises to be a very, very interesting semi-final. So make your way to YMCA tomorrow. But on Wednesday, Hudson, on Sunday, it will be City Oilers, the defending champions, the dictators, will be taking on our savior in the semi-final. Quite a task for our savior.
First and foremost, credit to Moses Ochela.
Yeah.
Credit to such a young man, such a young coach, such a young man. We've seen him as a player of our savior turning into a coach. He has been with these guys for some good time. Credit to him. He has really put up a good fight. And for the first time seeing our savior into the semi-finals, National Basketball League, I was just so happy for them. Happy for Dalton, happy for Watcher Joseph. Of course, Watch has been there before. Watch has been the finals before when he was in UCU. But I'm just happy for them. Happy for Malwal. That Sudani boy that got to Malwal. There.
Yes. Yeah.
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 So, but I would say Oilers whenever they're in the playoffs, man, it is a different set of Oilers. Not these Oilers just plays regular season.
True.
I think the management tells them, you know what, guys, I don't want to know, I don't want to care, I don't care about what you're doing. All I need is just a win from you guys, and it has to be a win. So I don't expect too much from our savior, but I'm just then the semis.
Do you fancy UCU winning the championship again? I mean, City Oilers.
So, of course, I feel bad because they've dominated for so long. But credit their management. Their management is so well set. It's hard to find a Oilers player out there hanging out when he has a game tomorrow. Even hanging out your season. You never find them out. Now find them somewhere, be like, I'm watching football first, then I go back home. No. You meet them on the court watching basketball, then they go back. You find them just picking food somewhere in a restaurant, then they go back home. So the discipline is key on that team. It's so key on that team. On top of that, the players also have this belief of like, it's ours. This is ours. Whether or what, we need to win it until we get tired. Because this player goes this season, next season they bring another player. Because this season they added 3 big players.
Yeah.
Yeah. The 3 big players who they added are scoring non-stop. Yeah. Actually, not 4. Well, Jaswell, yes, 4. Or Jaswell. Those are 4 players.
Yeah.
Well,
so
the defense you need. When you give the defense you need, Fayed will give the offense you need, Tatas will give the defense and offense, then the Sudan will give the defense and offense as well. So the team is well balanced.
Reduces the work on time
and well balanced as well.
Yeah, reduces on the burden on the likes of Tony Drileba and Jimmy Enabu. And Tony Drileba, of course, winning the Basketball Player of the Year award from the USPA Awards that happened recently. So quite some performances and quite some interesting things for Tony Drileba. And of course, Brenda Ekon as well.
Talking about him. So talking about Tony Drileba, yeah, is the best local player we have in Uganda.
Yeah.
Tony is the best local player we have. That one can't change. Actually, when you meet guys of non-Blazers and they tell you, oh, they lost game 7, they'll tell you that guy beat us because we had no solution for him. That's the guy who beat us in game 7. Other guys, Jimmy was kind of injured, yes, other guys were taking them out. Francis Azoliba was kind of also struggling, but the guy who beat them was Tony Dwaliba. Actually, when you meet fellow players, talk to players, they'll tell you that guy is no longer proud, but is proud arrogant. He's a guy.
Because he knows.
He's a guy who can tell you, I'm going to shoot you. And he goes back and he shoots and he tells you, I told you I'm going to shoot you.
Yeah. Well, definitely we'll be waiting to see what the City Oilers do.
It's like there's a time one of the players told me, man, the guy told me.
So your internet was breaking up a bit. Yeah. Well, Hudson, I think I think we'll close it at that for today. An hour of this, so we will leave it today at that. But to all who have been able to join us for today's show, thank you so much. Next Thursday we'll be coming back better, more organized. So don't change anything. Don't change the dial. Don't change your programming for Thursdays. And we've picked especially Thursdays because we want to be able to help analyze some of the games after they have happened, but also the games that will be happening later on. So for now, though, I want to say thank you so much for being part of the Sports Kabozi. Until next Thursday, bye-bye and take care.